Well, this is the last day. I'm pretty excited that I got to get to this particular day, number 30, 30th out of 30. Um, yeah, I'm gonna take a few days to think how is this gonna continue if I wanna keep reading books or whether I wanna keep reading books or just changing the approach that I'm taking. I'll definitely include the connected speech training or routine in order to being able to actually read fluently better. So I think these first 30 days have served me just, as a catalyst of seeing that I'm actually able to stick to, a project that I start. Also gain some confidence hearing or listening to my own voice because that's something that we're not. It sounds weird and counterintuitive, but hearing or listening to our own voice is something that we are not used to. Um, and it can get scary sometimes, although it shouldn't be. And now I'm feeling more confident and comfortable while doing this and, listening back. Although I'm not, you know, editing the videos, but still I'm just, day by day, I'm listening to them in order to being able to get used to hear my voice and see how can I improve my voice itself apart from all the things related with English. So now, five, what you focus on, it's what you focus on expands. So think about what you want. Sometimes I ask myself, why am I the lucky one? Why think why think positive? How positive thinking shapes our thought, subconscious, subconscious thought repeat. Thought reaps results. Why think positive? I imagine you are sitting in a jumbo. Imagine you are sitting in a jumbo somewhere of Europe and the engine falls off the wing. How would you want the pilot to react? Would you want your pilot saying, stay calm and buckle up? This will be bumpy, but we'll find a way home. Or would you want your captain running up and down the aisle yelling, well, we'll all be killed. We'll all be killed. Which fellow is more likely to get you down safely? Now think about your everyday life in which you are your own pilot. Which approach is most likely to solve your problems? We'll find a way or we'll all be killed. This is this is the essence of positive thinking. It doesn't offer guarantees, but it gives you your best chance. Losers, losers focus on what's impossible until all they see is impossibility. Positive thinking, think about what's possible. In concentrating on the possibilities, they make things happen. How positive thinking shapes your subconscious. To understand thinking better, we need a picture of the subconscious. Imagine your brain as split into a top half and a bottom half, much like a large walnut. The top half is your conscious mind, containing your passing thoughts. The bottom half is your subconscious. In your subconscious are the various programs you were born with, like breathing and digesting, and programs you have created, like walking and talking. Now, let's imagine you are learning to drive. Each time you approach a corner, you have a conscious thought on in the top of your brain. Lift the right leg, move move it 12 12 centimeters to the left, and press gently on the pedal. As you continue to have that conscious thought over a period of months, you developed an automatic program where you brake without thinking. The braking program has taken root in the bottom half of your brain, your subconscious. You have the new subconscious program. This explains how, as an experienced driver, you can arrive home after driving for 5 hours and say yourself, I don't even remember driving a car. Your subconscious did the whole thing. Any conscious thought repeated over a period of time becomes a program. So what happens if, for example, you have a conscious thought over a period of years? I'm always broke. You developed an automatic program where you don't have to think. You can make yourself broke without any conscious effort. How does this fit in with positive thinking? Simple. We have about 5,000 thoughts a day. For the most of us, they are mainly negative thoughts. I'm getting fat. I've got a bad memory. I can't pay my bills. Nothing, nothing, nothing I do ever works. With mostly negative thoughts, what kind of subconscious behavior do we get? Mostly negative behavior, which sabotage our life and health without even thinking. People wonder why they end up broke and miserable, yet they have created their own automatic patterns through their repetitive thoughts. In the same way, in in the fa- in the same way that we program ourselves to drive a car without thinking, we can program ourselves to be late, miserable, and send ourselves broke without thinking, and then be blamed, and then we blame God. Now here's what's exciting. Now here's here's what's exciting. What's exciting? When you understand about subconscious patterns, you realize that no one has to be a loser. Your future depends on your conscious thoughts. As you begin to discipline your mind, your new conscious thoughts create new subconscious programs. In the same way, you can develop subconscious behavior to drive a car. You can develop subconscious behavior to be more successful. But it takes disciplined thinking and some time. Now take Fred, who attends a motivational seminar and goes on a positive thinking kick. Fred says, I'm going to turn my life around. He writes out a few goals before breakfast: get promoted, get a Rolls Royce, buy the Taj Mahal, and then spends the rest of the week in his usual negative spiral. By Friday, he says, I don't think this positive thinking stuff is, is working." He has perhaps moved from 400,000 negative thoughts per day to 48,000 negative thoughts per day to 47,500 and 500, and can't believe he hasn't won the lottery, cured his arthritis, or quit fighting with his wife. Being positive for one day won't do it. Strengthening strengthening your mind is like strengthening your body. If you do 20 push-ups and then race over to the mirror, you won't see any difference. Similarly, if you think positive for 24 hours, you will see a little difference. But discipline, but discipline your thinking for a few months, and you will see even bigger changes in your life than you will ever see at the gym. Cleaning up our thinking is lifelong work. It's huge. It made even harder because it's made even harder because often we don't even know we are being negative when we are being negative. If you want to check your thinking, check your life, your prosperity, your happiness, the quality of your relationships, and even your health are a reflection of your most common conscious thoughts. In a nutshell, Fred says, like I do because my life is a I think like I do because my life is a mess. No, Fred, your life is a mess because you think like you do. Well, I think this was a really nice last sessions for this challenge. Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna take, like I said before, I'm gonna take some days and, try to figure out how is this going to continue. But definitely, I'm gonna keep going with something else. I'm gonna do the training and practice and routine and connected speech and facial muscles exercising in order to be able to be more fluent and sound more articulate. Um, I'll probably keep reading either this book or any other book that I find interesting. I do have a couple of books in my computer, and I'll see if I'll keep going with this one until I finish. Well, thank you.